Olá, a TV Estadão recebe hoje Teng Biao, professor visitante da Universidade de Hong Kong de Beijing e ativista de direitos humanos na China. Teng, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. You've been arrested twice in recent years, so my first question is how it's like to be a human rights advocate in China today.
Yeah, to be a human rights activist in China is very dangerous. So we human rights lawyers and defenders always being put under house arrest, followed, monitored, and sometimes we can be kidnapped and put into prison. And recently things are getting worse. More than 170 human rights defenders have been arrested and detained since the end of this March.
Mm-hmm. This month only?
From this March to now.
Do you think this moment in China, with the economy not going so well, you have a housing problem, and also you have the corruption as a big problem that the government tries to tackle, but it's not going that well either. Do you think that the young people in China are starting to go more into something like what happened in 2011, like a pro-democracy movement? Do you think there's a cultural condition for that? Or do you think the government is being effective in suffocating that kind of movement?
Yeah, in 2011, it's only information from Twitter made the government very, very nervous, and many human rights activists had been arrested and detained and tortured. And there are many mass conflicts or protest demonstrations all over China. This kind of protest or demonstration can be cracked down very quickly. And the punishment is for the activists or the organizers is very severe. So in China, even peaceful protest is very dangerous. Mm-hmm. And more and more Chinese people realize they need a new kind of political system. They hate corruption, and they hate forced abortion, forced eviction. But it seems that there is a long way. There's a difficult way to go.
Tell us about your arrest in 2011. What happened and how was it like? In 2011, yeah. In 2011, the revolution in Egypt and Tunisia happened, and we are happy to see new democracies appeared, and then many human rights activists were focusing on Chen because he had served 4 years and 3 months imprisonment and released and then put under house arrest, and the visitors were expelled and beaten. So we have discussed a lot
on how to save Chen Guangcheng, how to help Chen Guangcheng, and then on February 19th, because of a tweet appeared to call for Chinese people to gather in big cities. So some anonymous person call for this kind of judgment revolution happen in China, but we didn't participate the Jasmine revolution, so the government became very nervous, and then I was kidnapped on February 19th and detained in a secret police place. And I was detained for 70 days. During the detention, I was tortured, was beaten by the secret police, and I was forced to wear a handcuff 24 hours a day, together 36 days. And I was forced to sit down on the ground, facing against the wall, in the fixed position. So I can't read, I can't write, I can't. I don't have any information, so it's really hard time.
Do you think there's any way that international pressure for human rights in China can work, especially now that the Communist Party seems to be understanding that China needs some changes, obviously not a big change for them, but they seem to understand that the regime is not sustainable anymore. And how do you think that the international community should work to put pressure on the Chinese government on the human rights issue?
Next week,
I'm just gonna. Do you think Brazil can play a role in this? Do you think that Brazilian government or Brazilian NGOs can help the Chinese people advance the cause of human rights?
Actually, China is in the process of changing. I think the people living in China, especially the human rights activists, should take more responsibility. It's the main element of the democratization, but international community, international civil society can play a very important role. Without international attention and international support, we human rights defenders may have much more difficulties, and of course Brazil can give more pressure to Chinese government. Brazil is a growing power of the BRICS. It is becoming powerful, and it's a democratic state. So Brazil Brazil should have a clear and strong position in terms of human rights and democracy in China.